Well, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Got some kind of fun today. I'm heading to my taxidermist to drop off that antelope that I shot a couple of days ago. And I talked to Casey, who's the owner of Wild River Taxidermy, and asked him if we could do a quick video on how to cape out a antelope skull. That's a little bit different than doing a deer because of the horns on them and whatnot. But yeah, here's the goat. Anyway, so I don't know, can you see that? Got my wife's car, by the way. She's probably gonna kill me. But anyway, we're gonna do that. Take that down there, shoot that video. We've done a few in the past. We did a deer head, how to cape one of those out, and a bear head and bear paws. But I thought, deer head's gonna be pretty similar, but around the bases of the antlers is probably a little bit different. So, but anyway, yeah, so we're gonna get that done. I've got a flat tire on the buggy, so I gotta get home and get that fixed, and then we're gonna go elk hunting. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I had some great response from the last one, and hopefully we get the good response on this one as well. So stick around, guys. It should be a fun day, and we'll catch you when we get to Casey's. We are with Casey Higley today. As you guys remember, a couple of years ago, he helped me out with, I think it was a bear and a mule deer, and we kind of showed you guys how we went about skinning the heads and the paws out on the bear. So I shot this buck the other day. I thought it'd be a great opportunity to do an antelope, and they're a little different around the bases of the horns and stuff, so I thought it'd be kind of a fun thing to try. Let Casey work his magic on this again, and hopefully I will learn something as well. So I'm going to get out of the way, let Casey do his thing, and
sounds great.
That's it. Do it.
Thanks. Okay. So first thing, you've got where this comes down like this, and then it comes down the mohawk there. On an antelope, I like to cut just to the back of that there. Cut down, keep the hair out of it, get your scalpel or knife underneath. Go right to there. I'm gonna do the same on the other side here. Take that down where connect right where that's been cut there. And just like that. So here I'm cutting down into the ear a little bit. And then I come back down here to get right to there. Cut the ear canal. The whole time we're trying to leave as much meat on the head and carcass as possible, and not on your hide, because meat breeds heat because it's thick, which breeds bacteria, which makes hair slip.
So how long do you have before hair would start slipping?
Temperature is a big thing. So when it's hot outside, I suggest get it cut down like this, get it rolled up, get it on ice, get it cold, and then get your taxidermist, or when you get back to camp, you're wanting to cape it out so you can really do that. This is how you'll cape it out. Get it caped out and then get the cape back on ice. The head we're not too worried about. Once the cape's off, we're fine. It's just you want to get the cape on ice as soon as possible. With antelope are very, very temperamental. They like to lose hair.
Yeah.
When it comes to all animals, all North American game that I've hunted personally, or I do taxidermy work on, these are the ones that are the hardest to keep hair in.
Do you have any suggestions for out in the field, guys? you know, I know when I'm quartering an antelope, you know, I mean, or excuse me, cutting the hide off an antelope, and I'm trying to save it for taxidermy, and that hair just slips out right away.
Yeah, you can when they're first killed, you can grab handfuls and pull them out.
Exactly.
So you just gotta be very careful with it. Big thing for us is we you know, we usually quarter them right on the spot, put them in the backpack, walk out with them. We don't drag them. You drag an antelope, you'll have no hair on the side you drag it on. It's gone. It hits sagebrush. I mean, you can see that right there. It just light. It comes out easy. It's just part of it. And so best thing to do is keep it off the ground. Don't drag it through the sagebrush. You're going to destroy your cape on an antelope. And then get the hide off as soon as possible and get it cooled down as soon as possible. Don't let the cape get wet. As you see, John did a really good job of keeping it dry. My guess is you put it in a bag and then put it on ice, and so kept it nice and dry.
Yeah, so what I do is I take it an empty or an ice chest full of frozen. I use milk jugs, and I also use water bottles, 16-ounce water bottles. I use the water bottles for the meat, so I can surround the meat with the water bottles, and that cools that meat down super fast. If you take care of that meat, it's the best on earth, in my opinion. And then I use the 1 gallon ones. I will wrap them in here, and then I wrap the hide around them. And that tends to cool that down. And then I try and find, you know, one of the sizes I'll start putting between the forehead and stuff, because I'm not proficient at skinning this out, which is one of the reasons I'm super glad that I'm here. But and that, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going to slip here probably faster because of this heat retention.
Ears. The first thing you're going to lose is ears and the face. So the ears start slipping first, and then the heat retention in the head. So you know, like perfect, put jugs of ice in the body cavity where you've skinned, roll it up, and then get ice all over the face. And then with this, so you've gone up to here. With an antelope, this where it gets tricky. Where I showed on the last video, I take a screwdriver and I ring it around. See, on elk and deer I do that. Well, antelope you can't. It's growing off of there. So you take right along that hairline, and the hairline, I fold the hair down, and then I cut right along the hairline, just like that. And then you can see this hairline, it goes up, and then it goes back down. Hairlines on antelope are not straight. They're just not. If you find a straight one, I'd love to see it, because all the years I've been doing taxidermy, I've never seen a straight hairline. You can see how that, I kind of went down with that, because that's the way it is on that one. And I've seen them where they look like the dang Rocky Mountains. They're just up and down, like that. Do the same thing on this. We'll pull the hair out of the way. And if you leave a little bit of hair on the horn there, it's not too critical. Just don't be leaving a bunch of hair. That means that's your cape, because you can see the horn of the antelope is made out of the hair, so the hair is growing as it grows. As you can see, there's little hairs in it. Right. So you just get to where it's, you know, mainly hair, and cut like that. Another thing with antelope, their eye is right. You don't want a deer or an elk. The antler starts here, where the eye is right below the horn. So you got to be real careful as you roll it around right here, because you're already in the eye socket right there. Gotcha. Boom. You see, there's only literally a finger between the orbital bone and the bottom of the horn there. Because we get to the orbital bone, stick my finger right there in the back corner of the eye, because that's the main place people cut, is right here. Well, when you cut right here, you see how thin that is. There's hardly any hair, skin. It's so hard to hide a cut that's been cut right there. But that is where 90% of guys that skin their own, they're going to cut that right there. So I stick my finger in it, and then you're like, oh, you should be cutting up here. Cut on the other side of your finger. So way back there. And then you won't get that. Stick my finger in there, then you can see where my finger is, and I'm pulling that back corner out of the way. Just like that. Yeah, this one has a big old corner. I can pop it through just like that. No worries. Cut right along that orbital bone. There we go. Just look. And the next step, most guys, they'll just keep skinning it down this way, which is fine. I've done it that way for years. But then you've got a bunch of cheek meat here because they're worried about cutting a hole here. So what I do now, and show people, highly suggest people do, so you're going to come in like a 1/2 inch from the hairline, about a 1/2 inch in, and you're just going to make a trace line. So right there, you'll be right on the bottom of that chin there. And this is really easy to cut. So I always, on the air of caution, I leave a little more meat on here because, as you can see, there is no meat between the bone and that skin right there on the end. So I always cut towards the bone, so I don't cut a hole in the bottom of the chin there. And then I'll cut, so you've got, you know, about a 1/2 inch of skin, and I'll just kind of trace cut that like that. So we got a 1/2 inch of skin, trace cut that. And so when I come back through and skin it this way, I know where my line is. I don't have to worry about cutting it way back here and skinning it, and then you leave, you know, the taxidermist to what we refer happily to reskinning the whole head. Even though it's skinned off, we got to reskin all the meat back off of it, which actually is harder than skinning it off ourselves to begin with.
Got ya.
About the 1/2 inch mark, you can see how far back it goes in. Well, we don't need all that skin. We just need a 1/2 inch for tucking the lip. So I'll take that just like that, and I'll cut that just like so. And then I'll take and flip this back over like that. We'll start on this end here. I'm not cutting down into the skin. I'm cutting away from the skin,
Right.
and just kind of filleting that meat off, kind of like you would filleting a fish off the skin. Same thing, you know, you want to keep, when you fillet a fish, you know, the skin off of a fish, you're wanting to keep all that meat to eat. Well, same thing with the head. I know you're not eating the head, but you still want to keep that meat with the meat, skin with the skin. Okay, and you can see right there where I had started that cut. So you know, you didn't have to worry. A lot of guys, they'll cut back here and leave that all in the skin because they're worried. Well, if you do the tracing beforehand, you don't have to worry about it. It's all right there for you. You come to it and it's already there. See, boom, we're already done with that bottom lip. That top lip just peels off just like so. Do the same on the other side here. Right there, that's where we had cut. So we know we're in the right spot right there. Yep. See where we'd cut that? Peeling right there. Bottom jaw should be completely off. So now all we got really is the nose and this top, a little bit left of the top lip. So on the nose, a lot of guys will cut right here where the soft starts. I'm okay with guys doing that. Me personally, I don't, because I've skinned a million of them out. Not a million, but a lot. I actually skin the nose and turn it right on the mount.
Oh, okay.
So it's literally pretty much ready for salt when I'm done skinning it off the actual the head. And that's what I'm going to do right here, just so I don't have to worry about it. You got that there. There's your nostril there. That up. Skin that down. It's off. Head. See, not much meat on it. It's pretty darn white. There's not, you
Unlike
know,
the stuff I did.
there's a little bit on there, but John usually does a lot better when he comes to skinning, but he must have been in a hurry.
Yeah. So my excuse is it was 100 degrees, literally 100 degrees outside, and I was trying to go as fast as I possibly could. We actually had killed 2 goats, so we had two to get skinned and the meat on ice. So that's my excuse. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I like it. Well, perfect, man.
Yeah, so that's kind of how you would do that if you mess up like I did.
Yep, that's exactly what I do right here. Yeah. Yep. Because, you know, you're sitting in camp, you know, this is just breeding heat, you know,
Exactly.
because the meat. So when you're sitting in camp, you can just take your knife and just peel that stuff off. Quick, easy. And same thing, I'm cutting towards the meat. I'm not cutting towards the skin. It's not like I'm cutting like this. I'm cutting like this.
Perfect.
There we go. We'll finish this up, get everything turned, and get it in salt.
Hey, just really quick before we wrap this up, I want to thank Casey for taking the time to do this. This is his busy time of the year, so for him to take time to do this was awesome. And I did not mention this at the beginning, but Casey is the owner of Wild River Taxidermy.
Mlad, Idaho.
Mlad, Idaho. I was thinking social media. You got
Yep, we've got Instagram and Facebook. Both are, and then we've got wildrivertaxidermy.org. But most everything's Instagram. Is there anyone that has an Instagram account? You click on Wild River Taxidermy. There's a million pictures to look of our work and what we're doing that day. We usually post at least 2-3 times a week, if not every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I see Casey's posts on there all the time, and he's done several antelope for me, elk, mule deer, quite a few animals. I love his work. Yeah, bears. He's done some great stuff for me. So yeah, check out his stuff, and if you're anywhere close to here, he'd be a great guy to have do your stuff for you. So and for us, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe, and it helps us out a ton. So we appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next video.